Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, Magic Fan. How are you doing? Welcome to everyone in the chat on YouTube or Twitter, wherever you're at. Looks like our stream quality is good. Everything seems to be operational so far. Hey Landon! Haven't seen you in a while in the chat. Thanks for visiting. Yep, I've got a brand new time. I used to do this at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. Pacific time, and then now I'm back to. Well, I'm still just doing once a day, once on the weekends, but now it's 8 p.m. Pacific time. So whatever your time zone is, I think it's a little bit more friendly at that time. So welcome back to the stream. We've got a lot to do, a lot of fun stuff to do. Let me just finish setting something up right here. I forgot to pull up my chat box here. So welcome everyone on Twitch and YouTube coming to hang out with your good buddy VM Campos as we play some Magic Arena. So I think I've got it all set up there. Got some good music playing, and that should, if the music's a little too loud, let me know. Got some ambient music playing. So, okay. Switching over to the game right there. You're the first one to like. Thank you so much. Always appreciated. So we've got some gameplay that we're about to do. We've got a whole slate of fun things. We're going to maybe do a little bit of the ladder. We're definitely going to do some cube. We're also going to crack a pack in real life. Look at some art. Question of the day, and then magic news. So a full course of cool stuff. And of course, whatever people in the chat might want to do as well. And so people will be able to accumulate points. You can do exclamation point points as one word. Let me write that in the chat there. Exclamation point points. Like that. You can do that command. That will then tell you how many points you have. And you'll be able to claim those points with exclamation point redeem. That should be in the description of the video, of the stream. Redeem exclamation point. I'm going to put it like this because I can't write it myself. And it's going to be MTG Arena, no space. Yeah, I'll just leave it there in the description. You've not been playing Magic in a while? Oh, well, hopefully maybe you come back to it in the digital way if you haven't been playing the paper way. You know, a lot of people are not able to play at the moment, unfortunately, but we can do it all this way. Now, actually, your points, last time that we were streaming, the YouTube was not showing people's points. That's so weird. So if your points don't appear there, I have to check it in my own system, which is very weird. I have to check what are my settings doing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the cube in a moment, but what I want to do is play some Brawl. You've been playing D&D, very nice. I know a lot of people that are giving that a shot also because it's just so cool to play that. And you tell me about your character and such, or characters. How's the campaign going and all of that? I'm going to turn the volume slightly down for myself. Oh, I'm battling someone with Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, so I've got to be totally on my game for that. So I get to go first. Good. I've got a Foulmire Knight and some ramp, so that'll work. The opponent is Fnargle Bargle. Fnargle Bargle, that's my opponent. Obviously, I'm very freaked out just by their name. So we'll give them a hello, and then we'll drop a cool land, and then play a Death Touch creature turn 1. I love these turn 1 plays, even if it's just a 1/1. That's always cool. Okay, so I'm going to have eventually my Murderous Rider for their Planeswalker. We might get a Thought Erasure turn 2. We probably will. Let's see how this goes. Agonizing Remorse or Thought Erasure or nothing. Okay, even better. That's what I'd like to see. No turn 2 Thought Erasure. And no response on that. Okay, so now we got a Mana Dork, Mana Rock. You have a Aasimar Warlock Fighter, female main weapon, Death Scythe. That sounds so cool. Yeah, I haven't played D&D in years. I think I played it when I was younger, and there's people around me, and I'm a part of like card clubs and stuff. There's people around me that would play, but I just yeah, let me just do some turbo ramp right here. There's people that I can play with, but I just haven't had the chance to play. Magic is what takes up all of my free time as well as work. I have a job that I can do from home, so I have to keep paying the bills. No, oops, that's a midnight clock. Okay, who cares? Do I still do the card giveaways? Yes and no. Remind me how the last card giveaway was. It's been a while since you were on, so remind me how I used to do it, because I change things up and do different things all the time. So yeah, just remind me on that. Okay, so if they summon Nicol Bolas right now, they're gonna make me drop a card, and that's either gonna be the Golem or the Rider. They're still not gonna summon Nicol Bolas or anything. Okay. So I do card giveaways. I do definitely the digital version if people play Arena. Uh-oh, the spell cannot be countered, and amass. Okay, fine. They're about to amass a huge 7/7. Okay, I guess they're going to take out my Mana Dork. So anyway, I do... guess I'm fine losing my commander because I have plenty of mana to bring it back. So I do the card giveaway in terms of arena codes. Okay, that's not so bad. If they attack me, I'll just block with it and get it back. You don't play online, you're an old school paper. Yes. So the other kind of card giveaway of physical cards, yeah, I still do those. I do like crack-a-packs, and then on stream we have like challenges when a few more people show up. Uh-oh. Anyway, I do challenges on stream, and then people can win those cards that I crack at that moment. I've had people win like a really cool, like mythic rare and all of that good stuff. So this person is just going to keep stalling for something. Fine, let's bring some stuff out. I guess that'll be a counter spell. Fine. Can still do another creature. So we'll do this. They are playing the long game. They're going to block my Planeswalker, I mean my thing, okay. I still do the Patreon, yep, definitely, that's still going on there. I've got Patreon there, just had some new patrons to come in. Uh-oh, they obviously have a counter spell for my commander, but I guess we'll do it this way. Slowly ping them. So I've got the Patreon going on. There's rewards there. People going to the various tiers. People, if people just go simply to follow on Patreon, that also is a viable thing, because if people just follow on Patreon, they will be alerted to all the stuff that I do. So just with a plain old follow, that's free. And then also I've got the $1 tier that unlocks my exclusive stuff at the $1 tier. For example, the Planeswalker upgrade videos, the... Guess I gotta waste my time over here taking out this Planeswalker. At the $2 tier, people can then get at the $2 tier, people can get the... Yeah, what a stalling tactic, this person. They got a full set of 7 new cards. Yeah, so the $2 tier is where you probably got the card there. Okay, what else here? So can I kill that dragon? Yes, I have to kill this dragon. They want to get the... That's going to be a counter spell, of course. Okay, well, I guess we'll do it this way. I thought that had hexproof, so I guess they've got it locked up, so we'll move on. They have all the counter spells and everything, so I guess time to move on. They stalled the game long enough to get a bunch of... you just played War of the Spark. The cards War of the Spark? Yeah, I liked that set. That was a pretty cool set. So many Planeswalkers, so many cool abilities. I definitely enjoyed that set. So we'll play one more game here, and then we'll go to our next segments of the stream. We can look at some of the... I think we'll maybe look at a little bit of the news of the day. We've got Ikoria Lair Behemoths, a brand new set coming out, and that'll be cool. Okay, so drop that. I already have enough for my planes, for my character. Let's do this. There's no way for them to deal with that at the moment. Yeah, that's the thing about... Oh, and then my opponent's like, okay, I can't deal with a god. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing about these sets, that I kind of do feel they come out way too fast. Even though it's about 3 months or so, 1/4 of the year, I feel like Theros Beyond Death just happened and we're already getting the new set. So let's change our segment over here. Let's go over to the web browser over here. Let's talk about the yeah, what's my camera? It looks too bright. There we go. Let me just do a quick fix of the camera. I should have done that beforehand. One quick moment. Looks a little too bright. We can fix that, no problem. Under the exposure right here. Yeah, it looks way better right there. Okay. So, Dauntless. There's people suggest to me so many great things to play, and it's like, well, I have so little time. As much as I would like to play stuff, I have 2 jobs, and then on the side I play Magic. But here's the top stories. So the new set, Ikoria Lair Behemoths, is available here. I'm gonna browse a few of the new cards. Actually, let me ask right there in the chat, what should we look at? Which colors of cards should we look at first? What do people like? Now, I'm biased. I like the black, white, or blue cards. So I like either mono black or Dimir or Orzhov colors. But what should we look at here? We'll look at a few of these before going back to the next game. We have some brand new cards in all of the sets, even some new lands, some new artifacts. Colorless. Okay, so now they do distinguish colorless versus artifact, of course, because there are some of them that are colorless. Then we've got multicolored. So we have a lot of different colors of cards we can look at. So what should we look at first? I've not heard of Dauntless, actually. You can tell me a little bit about it. It seems It seems that vaguely that I've heard of it, but okay. So here's some of the things that are in the multicolored. We had Oko on the last set, and everyone was calling him Broco. And so here's a brand new card here, Brokos, Apex of Forever. There's a whole cycle of like forever cards, forever creatures. This is a 5 casting cost in total. Nightmare Beast Elemental. I love how they're combining so many types of creature types. It's a 6/6 with trample. You may cast Brokos from your graveyard using its mutate ability. So mutate is the brand new mechanic, one of the new mechanics of Ikoria, the new set. What this one lets you do is you pay some different sort of cost, and you can attach this creature to another creature. It's sort of like the augment mechanic of Unstable, but in real Magic. So Brokos has 2, and then Dimir mana, green. So then it's got one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got double green. So if instead you pay that cost, you attach this creature to another creature, and then they combine, basically. So if I mutate Brokos onto Cheville, Bane of Monsters, it becomes both at once, and then so this 6/6 gets the abilities of Cheville, which is Death Touch, and so forth. Or I can connect it in terms of Cheville is mutated into Brokos, sort of the other sort of way. So those are some. That's a new card right there. It's a game where you kill behemoths and make armor and weapons, then go on quests. It's really addicting. Is it a digital game or card game, or what type of game are we talking about? Let's see what else here. Death's Oasis. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then return a creature card with lesser converted mana cost than that creature to your hand. Okay, so you can keep getting stuff back out of your graveyard for things that die, smaller things, and then 1 and sacrifice this. You gain life equal to the number of the greatest converted mana among creatures you control. So the bigger creature you have, the more life that you gain. So that's interesting. Death's Oasis, one of these multicolored cards. And we've got 2 new ultimatums. People have been mentioning that there's some new ultimatums. There was Cruel Ultimatum before, and what else? A bunch of ultimatums. And the ones that people are saying might be really cool. Eerie Ultimatum. It's got a huge mana cost. White, black, green. So that's 7 whole mana in a bunch of different colors. It's a sorcery. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is going to be an amazing commander card, definitely with these abilities. So the Eerie Ultimatum, I think, is going to make a lot of waves in the world of Magic. So let's get back to do a little bit more gameplay. We'll look at a few more cards and look at some more news things in just a little bit. Let's get back to some gameplay. Okay, so the opponent Rage Quit. And okay, let's change things up a little bit. Let's play on the ladder. We'll play some historic ranked with. I've been having kind of fun with this mono black deck, mono black devotion, one of my favorite colors, and so this one, Slammin' Bananas, is the opponent. Okay, so no real plays to do, but this is ramp to my Bolas' Citadel, which is my win condition. So let's see what we get here. So turn 2, Mind Stone. That helps ramp me. Looks like I'm playing some sort of Simic opponent. Let's see if they do anything about that. Are they going to counter that? Nope, they're just going to Growth Spiral. Hey, Mark, you're not late at all as long as you're here. Welcome, welcome. So I'm playing a little bit. Ooh, I'm playing against an Uro opponent. So thanks for joining. Let me try to do my math here about what time zone you're in again. I mean, what time is it? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's like 1:21 p.m. for you on Sunday, right? I think I'm learning time zones. So I'm playing the ladder a little bit. I'm going to play... my opponent is doing Field of the Dead, eh? Okay, so I'm about to ramp into Bolas' Citadel, so I've got 2 of them in hand, and that might be my win condition. It's 3:21. Oops, I guess I did my math all wrong, as usual. No countered on that. Perfect. And then we're going to Agonizing Remorse their hand. Ooh, look at that. They wanted to do that Teferi really badly, but I got it. And then what? I pull another one off the top of my deck. Happy Easter. Thank you so much. You as well. Look at that. I'm totally ending this player's career, and then they rage quit. That's the power of Bolas' Citadel. This deck is like totally designed to like ramp into it as soon as possible. And there it is. I totally tore apart that opponent, so you just joined in to see that. Now, looks like they've got Uro and a bunch of Planeswalkers, so let's deal with their graveyard with Soul Guide Lantern. And then if I cannot get these Planeswalkers dealt with, let me put some of those. So, I'm going to still leave Grey Merchant as one of the win conditions, but I guess I'm going to swap out the cat combo. There we go. So, on the next, after this game, we'll go to a little bit of news. I thought I took out my Witch's Ovens. What did I do? Okay. Well, I'm sure I'll get one more Black Mana Source. Did you test the deck on that Untap website? No, I didn't get a chance. Sorry about that. I thought I removed my Witch's Oven. Why do I still have them here? I didn't get to test it just yet. And then, wouldn't you know it, I get 3 Witch's Ovens and no lands. Beautiful. But yeah, I've got that in my back pocket. I want to put that together and see how to vex my opponent. So, yeah. Isn't this pretty hilarious? I have 3 Witch's Ovens, which I thought I removed from my deck. And no lands. I'll let you know how it goes, definitely. And then we got a Teferi. Okay. Well, if I get my next land, I will be able to Spyglass. That's not a land. Okay. This is not a way to play. So, even though I had 43% chance of drawing cards for 3 turns in a row, I didn't get any. So, let me look at this again. What am I thought I don't want any Witch's Ovens. Oh, I took out the Soul Guide for some reason. There we go. Okay, slamming bananas now. We're going to play for real. I sideboarded, so I think I got it this time, and I get to go first. Nice. So we assume that they will have a Teferi, and I have ways to deal with it, and the Citadel. Okay. So they mulliganed once. There's the brand new Ikoria Beast. Check it out, this little weird cat thing. So cute. When you try to pet it, it like says, leave me alone. I should like for the awesome content. Yes. Thank you for all the likes. Let's check out what's in their hand. Uh-oh, there's that Teferi. So they got a Teferi every single time. And then they have a counter spell ready to go. So I guess I will let them counter spell 1 of my 2 Ayaras. That's fine. Then they have 1 more counter spell in hand. Oh, they didn't counter spell that. Interesting. They would rather draw a card and gain life. Fine. Okay, they're probably going to counterspell my Remorse here. I guess I'm fine with that. That'll take 1 out. Fine. So I was pretty productive today. I cleaned the bathroom. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But now it's all minty fresh. Teferi's not gonna do anything. And they have one more. I guess I'll take this out. I would rather, of course, have it ready to take out their other planeswalker that they have, but I guess locking it down with my spyglass is good enough. Besides that, they've got a ton of mana. Ooh, Banishing Light. Okay, I guess I'm going to banish my thing right there. They might draw a card. Okay, well, let's see. It's going to get vetoed, but I've got to go for it. Okay, so they totally want to protect that Teferi, but wouldn't you know it, the Lords of RNG give me another one. And then so once again, Teferi Time Ravalor is locked down. Teferi's so used to locking down the opponent, but when he's locked down himself, he can't handle it. Okay, so they're gonna revitalize. Getting closer to Citadel. And of course they could start to... Okay, so let's draw out one more counterspell from their hand. Hopefully they don't have a final counterspell when I get my 6th mana. But let's see what we get. Okay, so they have one thing in hand. We gotta go for it. I have to cast my Citadel. And let's see if their final card in hand is a counterspell. It's a counterspell. Okay, so they better top deck something good next turn because it's game over for them anyway. So GG. Oh, never mind. They top decked the land that made them a couple of zombies. Okay, well, guess we gotta deal with that. They might double block Ayara. That's fine. Because I have an heir and a spare. So let's see if next turn they top deck another land. Let's crack that, and what do I get next turn? A land. Okay, we'll keep it in hand. Let's see. Do they get a land and they make 2 more zombies? Oh, they get an Uro. Okay. Hanging on by a thread. Slamming banana. And now they're gonna... Okay, so I'm definitely gonna need to get my Citadel. This is the comeback of the century. Okay, well, we had it in our grasp. I guess I'll try to crack this lantern and maybe eventually get my Citadel. That's not a Citadel. Okay. Well, as this game slips from my fingertips, how's everyone doing so far today? Did you have anything good to eat? What did I have? I had some ham plus plus a fun salad and some Asiago cheese. And could sure go for a pizza slice. Okay, so I guess what we'll do here is well, We're gonna need some blockers. 6 times 2 is, well, I guess I'm getting good game, so I guess it's good game. Okay. Well, yep, that one was working so well until they totally top-decked all their amazing stuff. And that Field of the Dead, they unbanned it. It used to be banned, and I guess they thought it wasn't so bad, and right there we saw it, how it came back. Okay, so let's go on to our next segment. Let me do this right here, actually. Let me change this. What is this? This is a brand new overlay because what? I have been chosen by Wizards of the Coast to be part of the Early Access Streamer event again. Thank you so much, Wizards of the Coast, for sponsoring me on this, giving me full access to a totally tricked out account on Arena that will give me all of the brand new cards in Ikoria, and I'll be able to play with a bunch of other early access streamers the brand new cards. So it's going to be April 15th. I haven't decided my times yet, but I have some things in the morning to do from like 10 a.m. to like 2 p.m. or something Pacific. So maybe like 3:33 p.m. I like doing that sort of thing, like, yeah, streaming when I do the early access thing at 3:33, 4:44, etc. So probably I'll start at 3:33 Pacific time on that Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. That's some of the big news right there. I got accepted into the creator program at Wizards of the Coast, and they brought me back. Let's see, which ones have I done? I've done War of the Spark, Corset 2020, Throne of Eldraine, Theros Beyond Death, and now here's the fifth one. So yeah, thanks so much, Wizards, on that. Thanks to for giving me that access. That'll be April 15th. We'll have full access to play Ikoria. So that's some of that news I wanted to give. What I also want to do is, on our next segment here, let's do the question of the day. Today is April 11th. So let's see what the big book of questions is for today. What sound effect are you most like today? I guess sometimes the question itself needs a little minor translation. I would have worded it as, what sound effect do you most identify with today? That's how I would have worded it myself, just because the terms like what sound effect are you most like today? It sort of sounds like, what sound effect do you most like today? What sound effect are you most like today? That's a really interesting question, because you have to think about like a money sound, cha-ching sound, or a car honking sound, or brakes screeching. Yeah, what kind of sound? Am I most like today? Pretty funny questions. What sound am I most like? What do I identify with today? Can't even think of an answer. I guess just the sound of the Magic Arena when you win. That's what I think it is. So that's my answer. What about you there in the chat? What's your answer? What sound effect are you most like today? As you ponder that, let's go over here to the web browser to look at a few more of these brand new Ikoria cards. General Kudro of Denith, 3 mana in total, legendary creature, human soldier, 3/3. Other humans you control get +1/+1. So it's a human lord for 3 mana. A 3/3 for 3 plus a lord effect is good. Whenever General Kudro or another human enters the battlefield under your control, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. Okay, so much upside. This is a mythic rare card. So you get a 3/3 for 3 that plus ones other humans. Cool. Then you also exile something out of their graveyard. Yeah, there's some nice art, definitely. So many cool arts to choose from. And then the next thing is 2 and sacrifice 2 humans. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Okay, that's like really great flavor, isn't it? Like, he's a general. He's sending his troops off to kill the monsters. You have to sacrifice 2 other humans, and then you get that result. So, for example, General's Enforcer, right next to it. Human Soldier, 2/3 for 2 mana. Legendary humans you control have indestructible. Oh, okay, so if you have both of these together, General Kudro and General's Enforcer, you're making Kudro indestructible. And then 2 plus black-white, exile target card from any graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 1/1 white human. So yeah, it's some cool synergy right there, dealing with the opponent's graveyards and such. Let's look at one more. Let's see. What's a cool, like, creature? Savai Thundermane. 2 mana for 3/2. Boros colors. Elemental Cat. Whenever you cycle a card, you may pay 2. When you do, Savai deals 2 damage to target creature, and you gain 2 life. That's kind of cool. You cycle away something that you don't need, you pay a little bit more, and then you do a little bit of draining. 2 damage plus then 2 for you. And let's see, just one more. Slitherwisp. Slitherwisp. This is a blue, black elemental nightmare. It's a 3/2 with flash. Whenever you cast another spell that has flash, you draw a card, and each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, so each opponent, so that's good for multiplayer. So if you have this card out already, it has to have resolved, so you can't flash it in and hold priority, and then flash cast another because this one is not resolved yet. You do have to let it exist on the battlefield. Then you flash cast something else, and then everyone loses 1 life. Kind of interesting. Fear is its habitat, sanity its prey. So that's the flavor text there. All right, let's get back to the game. I think what I want to do now is let's do some of that cube sealed. There's a few ultimatum cards. Yeah, let's go back and look at those actually one more time. Let's look at it this way. If we go to good old Scryfall, we can search for them in a sort of a group right here. So ultimatum. Let's look at all of the ultimatums that exist first. There's the full cycle of 10 of them now. And I'll sort them by release. So the first ultimatums: Brilliant Ultimatum, Clarion Ultimatum, Violent Ultimatum, Titanic Ultimatum, Cruel Ultimatum. Those are the first 5. Huge amounts of mana to do some epic things, although from what I understand, just the Cruel and the Violent are the ones that got the most play. Cruel is your favorite. Yeah, look at that art. And then the flavor text: there is always a greater power. And that's Sarkhan. Is that like the moment that Sarkhan goes mad? Because that's Nicol Bolas right there messing with his mind. Titanic Ultimatum: retribution is best delivered by claws and rage, with both magnified. And that's Ajani. Why would Ajani be so mean about that? He doesn't talk about retribution and stuff. Okay, Violent: words are a waste of time. Destruction is a language everyone understands. And that's Sarkhan, I guess, after he goes insane. Clarion: be worthy of a single blessing, and many more will follow. And Brilliant Ultimatum: revealing the truth only deepened Tezzeret's curiosity for the secrets still buried. Okay, those were the classic ones. Now we've got the brand new ones. Eerie Ultimatum: everyone's saying this is the best one of all. Return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. So everyone's saying this is the best one if you play Commander, because obviously Commander is every card is unique, different name. And with this ultimatum, you get as many of those as you want from the graveyard back into play directly. The ground under our feet is a record of every slight against the world, to be avenged at a time of its choosing. Gavi Nestwarden. And we've got Emergent Ultimatum. What is this one? Search your library for up to 3 monocolors with different names, and opponent chooses, and then you put them. Okay, so you look for 4 cards, and then your opponent gets to pick which ones you can keep. No flavor text on that one, so I'm totally triggered because every ultimatum has had flavor text. But now there's one ultimatum that doesn't. So what are you doing, Mark Rosewater? He's not in charge of that, but what are we doing here that we have one in the cycle that doesn't match? Next up, Genesis Ultimatum. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put any number of permanents from among them to the battlefield and the rest into your hand. Look at the top 5 cards. Okay, so it's a lot of like putting stuff into the battlefield directly, and Emergent looks pretty fun. Yeah, you can definitely do shenanigans, or if you're playing multiplayer, you can try to convince your friend to help you to help yourself. No human eyes have ever witnessed the birth of an apex monster. Inspired Ultimatum. Inner peace is wonderful and worth striving for. Outer peace is much less important, and that's Teala, Lava Brink Pyromage. What this one does is target player gains 5 life. Inspired Ultimatum deals 5 damage to any target, and you draw 5 cards. That's pretty fun, straightforward. Someone loses 5 life, you gain 5 life, you draw 5 cards. And lastly, Ruinous Ultimatum. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponents control. Okay, that is pretty amazing for multiplayer. 7 mana for a non-symmetrical Wrath of God plus Armageddon. Oh no, just non-land permanents. Yeah, so Wrath of God. Strike those abominations down. Let their names rot with their remains. General Kudro. I keep seeing throughout the lore that General Kudro's not a nice guy. But anyway, that's the cycle of ultimatums. A lot of really cool ones. A lot of great ones for multiplayer. So let's get back to some gameplay. After a little bit of gameplay, we can do the next segment, a Crack-a-Pack. So I'm going to play Sealed. Sealed Cube. So, same as before, we got Lyra right away. That's an amazing mythic. But let's do this. So let's first see any of the lands that we got here. Castle Ardenvale, Castle Vantress, Forgotten Cave, Castle Gerenbrig, Godless Shrine. Yeah, got a lot of cool lands, definitely. Karn's Bastion, Field of Ruins, Spire, Treasure Map. Okay, a lot of good lands. Let's see what the artifacts that came in. Midnight Clock draws you 7 new cards. Embercleave. Sanctuary, not that good. Fountain of Renewal, automatically gain life. Manifold Key, untap another artifact or make something unblockable. Shadow Spear, +1 trample lifelink, turns off hexproof and indestructible. Black Blade Reforged, +1 for every land you control. Treasure Map, lets you scry, then draw cards. Clockwork Servant draws you a card. Entrancing Lyre locks down your opponent's creature. Firemind Vessel, some ramp. The Weatherlight, 4/5, crew 3, flying. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a historic from among them and put it into your hand. So historics, of course, artifacts, legendaries, and sagas. But that'd be kind of fun just for the flavor to get the Weatherlight in there. So out of the artifacts, I would think Embercleave, that's a game winner. Treasure Map, Black Blade, Shadow Spear, maybe a Midnight Clock, Liar to lock them down. Yeah, I like this stuff here. I would want the Weatherlight for flavor at least. It's just 4 mana for a 4/5 flyer. Actually, that's very good. It does need to be crude, however, so whenever it deals damage, look at. Okay, so you must do that look at the top, so something to consider. Next, we'll look at all of the mythic rares. So I already see some planeswalkers there. Karn, that'll be good. It's colorless, so this can make some of these constructs if I do more with artifacts, or pick cards. We've got Raul Izzet Viceroy. In Izzet colors, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one to your hand and the other to the graveyard. -3 deals damage to a creature equal to the number of instants. Okay, and then -8, you get an emblem whenever you cast an instant. Okay, so Planeswalker's always fun. We got Aurelia, so that one's amazing. A big old 2/5 flying mentor, gives +2 trample, vigilance, etc. Nyxborn Ancient to get some amazing mana. I need to see how much ramp there is though. Nylea 5/6. Creatures cost 1 less. Reveal cards. Put the creature to your hand. Okay, so if it's a creature focused deck, Nylea is good. Lyra, she's amazing. 5/5 flying, first strike, lifelink, and other angels get +1. Did we get any other angels? I'm curious. Let's see here. Can I look type angel? I've only got 2 angels, Lyra and Aurelia, so that would have been way better if there were more angels. Anyway, what else? So Kefnet, 4/5 flying. You can play a... I usually have to read this one over. You may reveal the first card you draw each turn as you draw it. Whenever you reveal an instant or sorcery this way, copy that card. You may cast the copy. The copy costs 2 less. Okay, yeah. So if I have some sort of instant or sorcery, I keep a copy of it in my hand, and then I'm able to play the copy costing 2 less. So I get like 2 copies of a card. There's the Dragon Master Outcast again. 1/1, you make free dragons if you've got 6 lands. Ilharg, 6/6 trample, you sneak attack in a creature and it goes back to your hand. Love that. Embercleave, love that. And then the Weatherlight. So, out of all of these, there's only one amazing white card here, Lyra, but there are 3 amazing red cards again. Didn't we go with red last time? Boros? I have to see the other cards still, but Dragon Master, Ilharg, Embercleave, Aurelia, amazing. And then with Lyra, amazing. And then the Weatherlight as a 4/5 flyer. So those are some ideas there. Let's go look into rares. Zetalpa. Ardenvale, Castle, Vantress, Hippocamp, Talrand. Blue doesn't look very good at all here. White is okay. Black, Gutterbones. There's the Sword Point Diplomacy again. Didn't I get that one that other time and it worked really well? Yawgmoth's Vile Offering, that's way too complex for me. Goblin Thrashmaster. Let's see, did we get any more goblins? That might be a cool, like, sub-theme. Type Goblin. Fanatical, Redcap, Master, and Zerta. It's a little light on goblins, but there's a couple of one for ones. Yeah, so the Goblin Trashmaster wouldn't really be that useful, but if I need cards... What else? Let's see. Storm's Wrath. Okay, that's a board wipe. might be necessary. Garenbrig Castle makes you a lot of mana. Gilded Goose makes you mana. Fauna Shana, discard a creature, search your library for a creature, reveal it, put it into your hand. So let's you go get a big creature if you've got a creature that you don't need. Incubation, there's some ramp. Jade Light, there's Explorer. Lovestruck Beast is amazing. Wayward Swordtooth lets you ramp mana. Goreclaw reduces the cost of your big creatures. Then we've got the Shrine. Atris and Dimir is fun, but doesn't win you games. Hostage Taker is amazing. That's the only Dimir card I've seen that's kind of amazing. Got these other lands. Dalakos. What's this one? Crafter of Wonders. I hardly ever see this one. It's a 2/4 for 3. Gives you double colorless. But it only lets you 4 artifacts, spells, or abilities, and equipment costs less. Not that great. Dreadhorde Butcher's amazing, but I'm not really seeing too much in Rakdos. Well, here's another Rakdos. That one's cool, but it's not too many. Captain Sisay in Selesnya, probably not. Got some checklands and shocklands and so forth. Okay. Out of the rares here, if I want to stick with let me just reply something really fast. Answer soon. Live streaming right now. Okay, so in one more thing here. So if I stick with Boros colors, perhaps, I don't want to force it, of course, but if I stick with Boros colors, I would have Castle Ardenvale and Zetalpa. In red, Goblin doesn't have a lot of synergy, and then Storm's Wrath, so very limited in the rare cards. Green cards in rare looking very good. Castle Garenbrig, Gilded Goose, Incubation Druid, Jade Light, Wayward. I'd take all of these. I would take all of these green cards. I think they're very good green cards. Rare cards in Boros are a little weak. Besides that, Karn's Bastion, and then Treasure Map, Black Blade, and Shadow Spear. So, okay. Perhaps red and green? I'll check in a moment. Okay, let's go down to the uncommons. Let's see what's happening in uncommons. Leon and Vanguard, I love that little cat with a Pridemate. Venerable Knight, that one's cool. Give your Knight a +1. Actually, how many Knights are there here? Can we do any Knight synergy? Any Knights to get on the squad? Not really. So just the Red Cap and the Crusader. So Knight synergy wouldn't be a big thing, but a 2/1 for 1 mana is not bad. We've got Daxos. There's a life gain synergy or strategy that could happen there. A lot of life gain going on, plus devotion. Shepherd, blink your stuff. I haven't really seen a lot of blink. Banishing Light, need that for removal. Magistrant, 2/1 Afterlife. Prison Realm, another good removal in white. Another third good removal in white. Siren in blue. I'm not really seeing anything in blue that really stands out. Yeah, there's nothing in blue. Brain Maggot, that's pretty good. Not really seeing a lot in black though. Murder. Blood for Bones. Furious Rise. What's this one again? At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card, you may play it. I don't think there were a lot of big creatures that I've seen so far. Tybalt, make a bunch of devils and then they cannot gain life. Very situational, but you know, Planeswalker always takes people's attention. Paradise Druid, more ramp right there. That's another perhaps green, red, perhaps. Brontodon, 3/4 for 3. plus Sacrifice. That's another good green card. Keeper of Fables is a cat, 4/5. Whenever one or more non-humans. I cannot search. Is there a way that I can search for not type of not human? Does that work here? No, it doesn't. Oh, there it goes. No, that doesn't work. It's just taking human. Yeah. So there is not a not search in Arena. That'd be so useful. Anyway, then we got Saheeli. I'm not really looking at Izzet colors. And Grath's Rampage. Not really a lot stood out in Rakdos. If we do red-green, I'm perhaps leaning to red-green. We got the Zertog Goblin. Kiora in Simic. Well, actually, that would still even work in the red that I'm trying to do here, so that might be cool. Risen Reef. I'm not really doing Simic. Field of Ruin, maybe. Spire for fixing, not really. And then life gain on that. Then the key to untap or make unblockable. Adamant out a card. Liar to tap. Firemind to ramp. So what do I like here? So I'm thinking either red-white or red-green. If we go with white here, Vanguard, it's got a little bit of life gain once you've got 3 creatures. Not life, yeah, life gain plus a +1. The Knight is a 1-drop for 2/1. Daxos is fine. Shepherd, I don't really have any blink effects of note. Banishing Light is useful. Prison Realm and Conclave Tribunal. The best removal that I've seen has been in white. If we look at green, I love all this green stuff here. Paradise Druid, Brontodon, and Fable. For some good ramp. Then we get Zerta. Actually, did I miss red? What's in red? Red is only Furious Rise, which is mech, and then Tibalt is also mech. Zerta, Kiora, Liar, maybe the key, sneak in some damage, and then the Vessel. And then lastly in commons, no white cards at all in common. Merfolk to mill, who cares, on summon, that's kind of fine. Cloudkin, draw card, good. Harvest won't work. Forgotten Cave, okay, there's a cycling red. Fanatical plus Weasel, okay. Pyrohelix, good. Kiln Fiend, good. Elvish Visionary, draw a card and a 1/1. Grow from the Ashes, good. Alright, so I'm now that we look at it all again, I think it's going to be red-green. Yeah, let me put in all of the red-green cards for the moment. And then we'll probably... you made something to eat. I'm getting hungry as well. Fax me a little bit of something about what you made as well, if you can. Thanks. But right now I'm playing Cube Sealed Draft, or just Cube Sealed, and I'm going to go with a red-green deck. Exactly. Well, I love food too, so I think that means something too. So I'm going with red-green. Red-green should work. I saw some good white cards, but I'm not too comfortable with the splash, so I'm just going to kind of go with what I think I'll be good with. So, got some ramp, got the Brontodon, got a cat, Kiora. What's this again? Furious Rise. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature that's big, exile the top card. You may play that card until you exile another card. Nah, I don't like that sort of impulsive draw. Next, in the rares, in red-green, we have the Trash Master, Wrath, a land, Goose, Fauna Shana, sure. Again, I'm just putting all of the on-color cards, and then we'll pare it down. So say... Alright, then we'll look at the mythics. Dragon Master, get that Dragon Master here again with all of these different lands. Ilharg, Embercleave, Nylea, the Ancient, and I think we're good there. And we'll look at one more time the land. Did I miss any lands? I don't have any dual lands in Gruul colors. We've got them in all the other colors. Ooh, okay, we need that treasure map. Field of Ruin to wreck their land. Karn's Bastion. I don't have anything with counter, so that doesn't matter. And the Spire is mana fixing. And then the artifact. Did I get this? My auto lands? Yeah, it did add my lands. Okay, good. Remember last time I tried to do the deck and it didn't add auto lands for me, and then I was totally off. Okay, in the artifacts, Manifold Key might be useful to make something unblockable. Shadow Spear, Black Blade, Lyre to tap them down. Mana Rock, Weatherlight. Draw a card. Okay, so I'm at 50 cards. Let's pare this down a little bit. 20 creatures. Okay, so we're going to go with a good old Gruul Stompy deck. So at the very high end, we have the Nyx Bloom at 5/5 Trample with a lot of ramp. Embercleave to win the game. Keeper 4/5. Whenever a non-human deals damage, draw a card. So non-humans. Let's see. We have the Ancient, Ilharg, Goblin, Goreclaw. Yeah, I think I got plenty of non-humans. So that'll probably be fine. Then we've got Ilharg 6/6. When it attacks, put another creature from your hand attacking. Plus it keeps coming back to life. I have the Weatherlight as a 4/5 flyer, but it needs to be crewed. I might take this one out because it needs to be crewed first. Yeah, let's take it out for the moment and we'll be back. Firemind Vessel to ramp. Storm's Wrath as a board wipe. Nylea decreases the cost of creatures. Goreclaw, same thing. Goblin. I do have a couple of goblins to make them a little stronger, plus it deals with artifacts. The Beast is amazing. Swordtooth lets you ramp. Jadelight Ranger lets you explore. It's double green though. Brontodon destroys artifacts, or it's a 3/4. I think I'll take out the Servant because that needs to be paid with adamant cost. Tybalt, probably remove. Yeah, let's. If I have a gut feeling, I'll remove it for the moment and maybe put it back. Grow from the Ashes to ramp. Kiora to draw cards and untap stuff. Lyre to tap their stuff. Kiln Fiend can become a big ol' 3/1 with any instant or sorcery. How many of those do I currently have? 1 instant and 2 sorceries. Okay, that Fiend is not going to be as good as it seems then. Visionary, 2 mana for a card plus a creature. Fauna Shana, sacrifice a creature to go get another creature. Discard a creature card, that is. That might be a maybe. Incubation Druid for ramps. Paradise Druid for ramps. Pyrohelix to deal damage. Black Blade. I don't really have a lot of legendaries, so I'm going to have to hard cast it for 7. But I have mana ramp in these colors. Treasure Map lets you scry. Shadow Spear 2 1/1 trample, etc. Manifold key makes something unblockable. I think I'll take that out. The goose for ramp. Weasel, creature, fanatical firebrand, and dragon master. Okay, it's going to be a little bit tough. So I've got 18 creatures. I guess I need to drop 2. Dragon master keep. Firebrand, it'll either be an attack or a 1 damage, direct damage to something. Weaselback can get pretty big really fast. Goose ramps. I guess this Fauna Shaman, I don't really need to trade into something. Card draw and creature, yes. Druid ramps. Druid ramps. Beast. Swordtooth. Ranger. Brontodon. So the Trash Master's a 3/3 for 4 mana. And I do have 2 other goblins, and this can be used to sacrifice to destroy an artifact if all else fails, if they have an amazing artifact. Goreclaw's good. Nylea. Ilharg, the Keeper. This is a maybe. I think. Okay, there's 1 human. I've got a lot of non-humans. I just need to ramp into it, so I think that'll work. Okay, I guess the Keeper's going to be good. In theory, if I ramp into it, I could be drawing a lot of cards. Ilharg, and then at the very top end, Nyx Bloom. So that's 17 creatures, 44 cards. Okay, still gotta cut a few things. I guess some of these... I guess Shadow Spear is nice, but it doesn't do enough. Two direct damage to a creature. I think that'll work. Again, Blackblade. The promise of that would be a huge creature. I think Kiora I'm going to take out. Although Kiora can also help me ramp. I could tap a land and then untap it and tap it again. Man, decisions. And I don't have a lot of big creatures to trigger Kiora. That could be 1 strike there, but again, that ramp. I need the Liar to tap them down for removal. Grow for ramp. So hard. So much good stuff. Yeah, this is so hard. 43 cards. Okay, one more time. Let's see. Pyrohelix deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. So that could damage a planeswalker, that could damage a creature, that could damage the opponent for 2 mana. And then the Blackblade, I guess we'll cut that. I can't do anything else. 3 mana with Kiora to also accelerate. Yeah, let's go with that. So we got a cycling land, 7, 7, and 1 there. I think that's what the deck will be. 42. Gonna change the deck box and then go with... I don't have the Gruul sleeves, but I guess I'll go with cats. Alright, let's play the first game of the draft. I went with Gruul. Now the cool thing is I can actually completely redo my deck between matches because it's all part of my pool. Thank you for that. I wish it was also kind of like best of 3, that way you can also sideboard. So they go first. I guess I have a turn. I don't have any turn 1 plays, but it draws me a card and everything's in monocolor. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Hoagie Rogan is the opponent. I have my 2 colors. Next turn, I think it'll be more valuable to be able to scry, so we'll do that. So they're going to do Orjav, perhaps, black and white. Will they have some disenchant to deal with that? They have to read it and reread it. What does that do again? Okay, they're going to remorse me. Fine. They're probably going to get my huge creature, probably Goreclaw. But if they get the keeper, I'm fine with that. Are they going to grab an elf? No, they're probably going to go Goreclaw. It's too good. But still, then that 5 mana. Yeah, they went with Goreclaw. Okay. So, 3rd land. Okay, there's Kiora. So, do I need to untap anything? Not yet. Draw a card with the Visionary. It's pausing on 1 black mana. I'll be able to scry that at the end of their turn. So good old treasure map will let me scry. They have 4 mana. Kinjali, fine. My creatures come in tapped. Okay, so before my turn, let's scry here. Red cap's a little weak. Let's see if they fall for it here. If I attack with that. I guess I should have attacked without putting my land. Well, they knew I had that land anyway, so... Fine. Alright, so I'll be able to scry something else. Don't need one of those. Druid, which does have hexproof at least. And I get to untap it. Thank you so much, Landon. You as well. They're attacking me instead of my Beckoner, which is fine. Next turn, though, I get to cast a Keeper, so that draws me a card. And my Druid has hexproof, so they're still not doing anything. Okay, well, let's see about that. That draws me a card. Sawtooth is cool. I guess if I lose my Druid with hexproof, I guess that's fine. And then the damage to them. Got a lot of mana. And then Gideon's hard to get rid of, so probably going to give that vigilance. Okay. Let's see what's coming up next here. There's a land. Now, what do I have to do here to get rid of this? So what answers do I have here? They're just kind of getting well with one creature so far. Oh, I have an Embercleave. Okay. I guess I can take out... Okay, so I guess I'm going to take out my own Druid, but I'll also deal some damage to Gideon. Okay, so then after that... Get out a big creature. I've ascended. Draws me a card. Very nice. Okay, so... Gideon's a 4/4, but I'm a 5/5. I guess if they attack with whatever, to wherever, I don't really care. I guess I can take it. I would rather have my creature live. Nicely done. Thank you so much. So now they've got that, plus that first strike. Okay. And then Embercleave. So first strike versus first strike, my Malice. I've got to put my Embercleave onto my Dinosaur because first strike on that Malice, and that's nothing. Okay, sure. And they're looking at all my amazing treasure, and they're coming at me. I guess I'm fine taking that, and that ends their turn. Okay, great. So let's switch the Embercleave over to my Dino, and then finish off their Planeswalker. Yeah, okay. And then bring in another creature. And then in a moment, well, actually that used up my land wrong. Yeah, the auto tapper didn't tap properly. I guess Kiora can do her thing here. So my Garen Brig can make a bunch of mana that I don't quite need. Now they're going to use the Giant Killer to tap my 6/6 actually. Or not. Okay, that's fine. And yeah, my treasure was tapped wrong. Okay, so here I can have my dragon critter. Now the annoying thing here is, okay, well, I need to transfer this to my other big creature, and they seem to be looking at something in their hand, but okay, so I've got two big creatures to attack with, and they're probably going to tap with the giant one of them. Okay, they'll tap that. Fine. Any more tricks? No tricks. Okay. I'll move the... That'll be 3-1 first strike, but that's not too relevant. You're just gonna first strike each other. Well, I guess that's fine. I don't need all that mana from that druid. So okay, now it did it to me again. Ah man, my treasure cove did it again. It tapped it, and I need that untap so I can draw a card off of my treasure. So I got to remember to tap this properly. Now Giant Killer taps any creature. Okay. So that'll be a little annoying, but there'll be shields down if they go for tap my... Oh, Cavalier. Okay, I guess they're going to wreck something. Probably the Embercleave. I get a 3-3. Oh, they're going to wreck that. Okay, fine. That's a smart play. And they still have enough mana for tapping that. Okay, now let's tap this properly. Let's bring out a Nylea. Pretty cool animation. Okay, so that Giant Killer, I have no way to get rid of it. There's going to be a stalemate, because if I put the Embercleave onto the Swordtooth, they're just going to tap it down. Do they have any enchantments? No good enchantments. Okay. See, this is exactly what I was worried about. And then there's their blue source. Okay, they're playing 3 colors. So what's the blue going to be here? The Archon. Okay, so everything becomes a 3-3. And that's not a flyer, so why would I not first strike it? Okay. So after this, let's draw a card. And that's an Ilharg. Okay, that'll be fun. Guess let's just go all in. And I don't have anything in hand to sneak attack, unfortunately. So let's just go all in. And then they're like, never mind. Okay. Alright, Hoagie Rogie, whatever your name was. Yep, once the pig makes it big, you gotta quit. That doesn't rhyme, but okay, yeah, we got that. So that's 1 out of 5. Excellent. Okay, let's change our segment. Hey there, Daybreak, how are you doing? You just finished your game on Untapped. The salt levels are high when you used it, I bet. But did Italy get you to the finish line? Did your opponents, after they raged, quitted? Did that win anyway? Okay, so here's our next segment. Let's do one of the questions of the day. I'll get the big book O questions. Here's a question. A chore you ignored today is ... So what chore did you ignore today? For me, laundry. I guess I should do the laundry eventually. But that's one thing that I could have done that I didn't do. But I did clean the bathroom. So one thing ignored, but one thing completed. How about you all there in the chat? What chore did you ignore today? Nowadays we can all say, I don't want to do the chores, coronavirus. But what chore did you ignore today? That was the question. They rage quit after failing to kick me. Oh, they didn't. They didn't. So people tried to vote to kick you, but then not everyone voted to kick you. That's funny, and then they quit. Okay, that's fun. So besides that, let's go over here to, let's look at a few more of the brand new Ikoria cards. Let's ask the chat there, what colors should we look at? What colors of the brand new Ikoria cards should we take a moment to look at? So in this segment, we will look at some brand new cards to pique our interest. My preference is Orzhov or Dimir or Mono Black, but what does everyone think there? We'll look at a few of these Ikoria cards. What should we look at, everyone? You skipped all your chores. Okay, that's the best answer. Let's look at some black cards. So let's see anything that stands out. Blitz Leech, Creature Leech. How many actual creatures in all of Magic are there that are leeches? Let's look right here. Type Leech. There's actually 13 Leech cards. It's way more than I would have thought. Land Leeches. That's the one that I'm going to pick right there from the classic 4th edition Land Leeches. Look at that amazing Quentin Hoover art. 2/2 First Strike, so this Leech has First Strike. Amazing. First Strike in green. They don't even do that anymore, do they? Green doesn't have First Strike anymore? First printed in the dark way back in 1994. The standard cure for leeches requires the application of burning embers. Alternative methods must be devised should an ember of sufficient size prove more harmful than the leech. Thus spoke Varvaman the Elder. Yep, so we have a brand new Blitz Leech, and it's a rare too, right? It's a rare? No, these are commons. The original printings were commons. Blitz Leech, 6 mana, common, 5/2 flash. When Blitz Leech enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -2, and then remove all counters from that creature. Well, that's interesting. So it literally leeches counters off of them, and there's a lot of counters in the new Ikoria. Not only are there +1 counters, but there's also counters. You can put a flying counter, a menace counter, so you can put those abilities now as a counter onto creatures. Technically artifacts too, but that doesn't make sense. So the leech is going to remove those counters, and it -2s something, and it's a 5/2, so that's cool. Anything else here? Boot Nipper. 2 mana, creature beast, 2/1. Boot Nipper enters the battlefield with your choice of a Death Touch counter or a lifelink counter. You meant rare to see First Strike in green. Oh, yes, exactly. It's rare in green. This is really cool art here. Who is this? This is Nicholas Gregory. So a 2/1 for 2 with either Death Touch or lifelink. That's cool. I have a number of hyper-specific phobias, and this somehow hits all of them. Aru Zagoth Lumberjack. Can't wait for Ozolith to break Voltron. Yeah, the Ozolith, that's the one where you can move counters all around, right? Isn't it? Yeah, I've been hearing that one's going to be a very good artifact. It's legendary, so there's that. Call of the Death Dweller. Return up to 2 target creature cards with total CMC of 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I'm seeing a lot of effects that are returning stuff from graveyard directly to battlefield, so that's cool. Put a Death Touch counter on either of them, then put a Menace counter on either of them. Okay, so for 3 mana, you get to bring back small things, such as a Boot Nipper, back onto the battlefield, and then you give it Menace. Give 1 Menace and 1 Death Touch, or one or the other. Cool. Okay, we'll get back to look at some more Ikoria cards. Oh, I can tell right away. This is Kev. Is this Kev Walker art? Yep, that's Kev Walker. Deadweight. Oh, there's the Deadweight again. I think it was first printed in Ravnica Allegiance or something. Let's take a quick look. I like the new art better though. I was about to type Dadweight. Deadweight. Oh, first printed in Innistrad actually. Randy Gallegos. Then Shadows over Innistrad. Then, do people say Innistrad or Innistrad? They usually say Innistrad, but I don't know why I said Innistrad at the moment. And so it's been printed before. If you've got the cash for it, get the original Innistrad version. So yeah, Kev Walker art. You're not my quarry, little one. I'm after whatever comes to investigate your cries. Kelsian the Plague. Is there a Kelsian card if we see their name? Kelsian. Your connection is a little laggy. Kelsian. I don't know if it's your connection or just my stream software here that isn't showing your text right away on screen, so I wouldn't worry about it. So we do have Kelsian. Kelsian the Plague. It's got black, white, and red. What is that? Mardu? I'm always so bad with the 3-color ones. What's black, red, white? Mardu? Human Assassin, 2/2. Vigilance and Haste. Kelsian gets +1 for each experience counter you have. Oh, experience counters. Kelsian deals 1 damage to target creature you don't control. When that creature dies, this turn you get an experience counter. So I know James has a commander with experience counters, so that might play well. The second one is how you pronounce it, so Innistrad versus Innistrad. I think that's how I said it. Aim for an eye, better they never see you. Pretty epic. That's mythic rare, and it's so far worth €3. Okay, cool. Let's get back to the game. On the next segment, what I'm going to do is a crack-a-pack, so remind me on that. Mardu. Yeah, so on the next segment, remind me I'll do a crack-a-pack. And then if anyone wants to do any challenges and such, direct challenges, we can do that. Get Narset. Narset is in the new set, and I'm so used to seeing her just the mono blue one here. Let's go back over here to that. Even though Narset has been multicolored, right? Her very first Enlightened Master was and then Transcendent. I always equate her as the really annoying War of the Spark version that does not let you draw more cards. But yeah, there's a new Narset in the new Ikoria. Narset of the Ancient Way. +1, you gain 2 life, add Jeskai color, spend it for non-creatures only. Draw a card, discard a card, and then you get an emblem. Cool. Okay, let's get back to the gameplay, and then in the next segment, we'll do a crack-a-pack. So 1 win so far, we're on a roll. You missed it last time, Daybreak. I went 5-0. Amazing. And then after that, I played it again, and I went like 1-5. So it gives and it takes. Okay, so what do we do here? Oh man, all my green creatures will be inoperable. Oh man. But I do have some removal there, and I'll probably get a green source next. Yeah, so much ramp right here. But it doesn't ramp into anything, so fine, let's mulligan. This is also not that amazing. I guess I'll keep this and toss back the Goblin. Goblin Trashmaster. Although there's some synergy right there, so Turn 1 Weasel, turn 2 Forest, turn 3 Kiora. Let's do a hello. Mythos Fire is the opponent. Alright, so this little weasel is getting big. Look at that. 3-1. Oh, snap. Okay, next turn, I guess Kiora. They've also got Gruul colors, but then they're going to go with a sword. Fine. I guess while they do that, I want that Kiora eventually, I guess, but I would rather do 6 damage, so... What are they going to attach that sword to? It's got 3. It needs to attach for 3, so this is going to be a big investment. I think this is a little slow. And they do nothing. Okay, fine. Even better. Because right here I can double. Yeah, let's just go for a double damage here. Okay. Might be stuck on land, unfortunately. I guess they're stuck in land, so... Sorry, but I guess... Guess you gotta do what you gotta do. And if they don't top deck anything good, I guess GG. Oh, there it is. They got a big old spider. Okay, they're in the game. So, I guess I'll force them to lose their creature. Keep them on the back foot. And then I can bring in my hexproof creature. There we go. Now they've got their mana. Okay. So they're going to claw back from the brink of defeat, maybe? So what do we do here? I have that Pyrohelix as the final 2 damage because that's 2 targets, so that'd be 2 final damage. I don't have enough for Nylea to come to life, so I guess I'll go with the Brontodon. Alright, the opponent might be getting salty, or maybe their internet connection's not working, or they're thinking furiously how to get out of this. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt that something's going on, so let's see. Nyx Lotus? That's game over, so okay, well... Attacking with that, instant cast that. That's it. Yep, so they had mana troubles at the beginning, and then they thought that a 2-2 wouldn't be, I mean a 2-1 wouldn't be too much trouble, but then they forgot to have red mana, so there you go. Red is dead. Red wins. You know what I mean. Okay, let's change. Let's do our next segment over here. We'll do a crack-a-pack. So before the quarantine, I was at Target and I picked up a pack of something, but not of magic cards. I picked up these little mystery things, and you all in the chat get to decide, what do we crack? We have the Mega Man. What is this? Mega Man 10 possible backpack mat. So Mega Man backpack hangers. I'll show what you can get from it in a moment. Or we have the DC Bombshells, the little DC Bombshells backpack clips. So we'll see that one. Collect all 8. Or we have the Transformers Clickets, which are snappy collectible charm. Collect all 12. So these are the possibilities right here. So here's what we can pull from them. The Mega Man one is these little chibi Mega Mans. So we got Mega Man, Fireman, well, Mega Man in Fire Weapon, in Ice Weapon, I guess. I don't remember what that, oh, that's, I guess, Elec Man. And then Roll, and then Rush, Fireman, Iceman, and Elect Man within a mystery one. Collect all 10. Then on the Bombshells, we have, these are cool too, we have to focus first. So why am I struggling with this thing? I have my focus thing right here. Okay, let me just activate my little focus thingy. Here we go. The whole point of this is that we can focus. There it is. So we have Wonder Woman, Catwoman, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Black Canary, Batwoman, and then 2 mystery ones. So these are pretty cool as well, pretty cute. There's that. And then lastly, from the Transformers clips. Actually, this is kind of funny. I can zoom in extremely close on this once I set it properly. No, we don't need to zoom in that much. But anyway, from here, who do we have? We have, you know, like Soundscream or Starscream and Soundwave and Optimus Prime, etc., etc., etc. So that's the possibilities. Super Fighting Robot Mega Man. So let's ask one more time in the chat there. I should set this up as a poll, but that's too much effort. So what do we open up? Do we open up Mega Man, DC Bombshells, or Transmorphers? Put your vote in now. So Mega Man comes from... What company is this? Well, it's Capcom, obviously, but who publishes this? From Just Toys International. DC Bombshells comes from Cryptozoic Entertainment. And Transformers comes from Grin Studios. So I guess we have 2 votes for Mega Man. We'll go with Mega Man. Okay, so the Mega Man package is the biggest one of all. So see how the Transformers is way smaller. And then the Bombshells is also small. So yeah, get your votes in. Yes, it's very hard. So I would not mind opening any of these. These all seem pretty fun, pretty cool. We get most votes for Mega Man, so let's go with Mega Man. Now here's the question here. Which one does everyone want? Which one do we want to crack? They're all really cool. I wonder if they're actually posed like that, because I think Mega Man as Elec Man looks pretty cute. Rush looks pretty cool. Roll is cool. Yeah, so which one do you think we will get? Or which one do we want to get? Iceman looks cute. They all look so cute. What do you all think? Which is the one you want me to crack, and which is the one that you think we will crack? Warning, choking hazard. Not suitable for children under 36 months. Contains small parts. Keep the wrapping. Well, isn't that like more danger as well if you keep the actual wrapping when you've got small kids? You thought it would be Takara for Mega Man. Yeah, I would think so too, but it's... Where do they make it actually? Distributed by... Actually, it says it's made from Just Toys International, but distributed by UCC Distributing in Vista, California. Hey, that's nearby here, actually. Made by Just Toys. Made in China. Okay, let's see what we get. Fire Mega Man. Okay, here we go. Let's open it up. So let's see what mythic rare we get. It's a little loud on the cameras, on the mic, sorry. Okay, so we're pulling. Here it is. We have Roll, Mega Man's robotic sister. After Dr. Light created, I don't know who was created first, Roll or Mega Man, but there we go, Roll, and it is actually, I guess, in the package pose as well. Look at that. So it would be in the actual package pose. She's like pointing at you and saying, "Hey, Mega Man, don't forget to do this." So the that's what we cracked in the Crack-A-Pack. So I didn't have any magic cards to work with. So we got Roll, and that's pretty cute. It's pretty detailed, actually, if we get in close there. The eyes look cool, and then let me focus that better right here. The eyes and everything, and let me just get my focus here. Hey, Oscar, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. So let me focus that properly right here. We just cracked a pack of these cool little hangers, and Roll was what we got. Look, the hair and the ribbon and everything. Cool. And then they put the name right there. Usually they put it like on the foot, but here it is back on the hair. And even the hair looks cool. Yeah, this was nice. This was a little nicer than I thought it would be, so that's cool. That was the Crack-A-Pack. And there were all of these possibilities. Here were the possibilities that we could have gotten. We could have gotten the various Mega Mans powered up as Fireman, Iceman, or Elecman. We could have gotten Rush or Roll. There was no Proto Man. Maybe there might have been a Proto Man because it says right here the mystery one, so that was maybe Proto Man right there. Or maybe Dr. Light or Dr. Willy. Dr. Willy, Dr. Wily. Whatever. So that was the Crack-A-Pack right here. And you want to fire Mega Man, but you think it's Rush. Okay, so yep, that was it there. Let's get back to some gameplay. We just finished winning right there, and that was the Crack-A-Pack segment of the stream. We've got a few more segments later on. We'll go look at some news, magic news in a moment, after a little bit of gameplay. And then if anyone also would like to do a direct challenge, let me know. We can do a direct challenge as well. You have an Assault Dragon from your childhood. Assault Dragon? Which one's that? From what? Is Assault Dragon from one of the Mega Man games, or what is it from? So let's go to the next one. We got 2 wins so far. Actually, I want to change my music as well. This music's all right, but Wily, Dr. Wily. I think that's how I would say it too, Dr. Wily, Dr. Willy, whatever. But let's change the music. I'm going to go over to the station. Let's do some chiptunes. This is courtesy of... where's chiptunes? This is courtesy of Pretzel Rocks. This will work. I get a turn 1 human. Get a turn 1 human. I get a turn 2 Elvish Visionary. Turn 3 Beast. And a Goose. Where were you when I needed you? Okay. They have their own Druid. They will not block. Alright, so let's see if they murder or somehow else remove. They're ramping into something. Japanese toy line, that sounds cool. Okay, so they got me. That's fine. Let's bring in another big old creature. After that, I guess I'll Jade Light. Maybe cycle that cave away. If I get my Pyro Helix, I can toast that Druid to slow down their ramp a little bit. They're going to go search. Okay. That'll slow them down a little bit, although they'll get to that. Oops, they get a red. So that's going to be 3 mana in total. They have one of those. Okay, that's pretty good there. Don't really need that mana ramp yet, so let's Jade Light Ranger and hope we get something huge. Yeah, Bronto, leave that. And leave it there. So nice, another nice big creature. We'll cycle that in a little bit. And I guess I'll just attack with my biggest creature. No need to do any of that. So that'll be a big old 5/4. And they want to keep their ranger in order to... Yeah, we'll look it up. Yeah, that's a good point. After this game, maybe we'll switch over to the web browser and we'll look up a few of those. Bidaman are marble cannons. Are you mistyping a little bit there? Are marble cannons that can be used for tabletop. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll check that out in a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, let's cycle away this. Get something better, perhaps. We got that. Okay, got a lot that we could do. Just go for an all-in assault. Both of those are suddenly 5/5s. Alright, so they'll take 6. Down to 4. Hey Stevie, how are you doing? We're playing some Cube over here. Oh no, Savvy Hunter is really good. A moment ago we also cracked a pack, Dahlia, with Trample. A moment ago I also cracked a pack, but not of Magic cards, of Mega Man toys. And I managed to crack Roll, Mega Man's sister. There she is right there, so cute. It's one of these backpack hangers, so I got one of those. Okay, here. So, if I do an all-in assault, they'll be able to kill some of my things. So, okay, I'll wait for the next turn. It was very fun, but over the course of several movies, you lost the arenas. You had Ox of Agonas. Nope. Do not want. Yeah, I bet like those marbles, you know, all of that, those little pieces can definitely get lost in there. Huh. Okay, so that's just the land. Okay. That 7/7 is just the biggest one. Maybe okay. Let's just attack here anyway, because even if they block and some other things die, they're gonna get their own damage from their own Reapers. So we just gotta go for it. Everything that can be impactful, I'll send in, and I'll have a blocker as a 1/1 for that giant. So obviously they're gonna block one of my. They're gonna block my 4/3 or whatever. That's dead. But then. That's gonna die. Good. Moves. Not movies. Okay. Sorry about that. Moves. So they're gonna take 2 damage from their own Reaper. Yeah, it's gonna draw them cards, but I still have enough. Even if they go all in, I've got enough blockers to still live a little bit. Right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Well, actually, that would be lethal. But let's see what happens here. We got a food token to live. I have my own food tokens too, so okay. Can you show you on the Discord what mine looks like? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead there. So that's an 8/8. 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna stomp that, but I guess I will make a food. So unless I get my really big stuff, this might be difficult to wrap up. I don't think I had... The colors that I picked, I think, were good aggressive, but they didn't really have a lot of removal. The removal that I saw was in white, but there really then wasn't that much extra of value. Oops, okay, so that Tybalt's not good. Yeah, I guess this one's game over for me. It was going pretty well till they got an 8-8. So unless I can get a flyer, and I don't think I have any flyers. I didn't leave the Weatherlight in there. But if I Pyrohelix, okay, so I don't have any card draw. I don't have any card draw at all. I mean, yeah, that wasn't a card draw. My Pyrohelix would, yeah, it's game over. Let's go on to the next one. So they just kind of built up a critical mass pretty well, and it didn't work out. I guess that giant was like the big thing about it, and then that final Tybalt where I couldn't eat my own food, so that's what happens sometimes. Alright, well, the next opponent comes up. Let's ask another big book of questions right here. What was the last takeout meal you ordered? The last takeout meal that I ordered was from Wingstop. It was the wing combo with fries, and it was so good. I'm kind of hungry right now, actually, as well. So that's funny. I got all colors only. Okay, well, I guess this might be vaguely doable. Because turn 1, I'll have my Outcast. And so I'm getting a chance to look at that dragon thing that we talked about. Do you mind if I show it up on the screen eventually, or is that only for my eyes only? So I guess I'll give that a thanks. There's the green. Well, I don't have any more lands, but eventually... Well, I was talking to Daybreak, actually. Stevie, he showed me something in Discord that I don't know if he wanted to let me show it or not. But anyway, my opponent is green, black, and red. I guess I'll have to torch that goose. So that mana ramp is not good. Next up, drop a land, attack with a 1/1. Oh, there's an alarm there. It's 10 o'clock already? I started streaming. It's 2 hours already? What? I started streaming at 8, so my new time now, if people didn't know, my new time is 8 o'clock Pacific time now. And it's already 10 o'clock? Where did the time go? No wonder I kind of feel hungry. So they're in tricolors. They have Squee, that's fun. Let's scry over here. Do we need any more lands? No, we need good stuff. Yeah. I was just listening to Mark Rosewater's podcast. he does a weekly podcast where he drives to work and talks about magic. Really cool. And no one's driving anymore because of the stay at home. So he's now doing it. He's driving to his den in his house, or he's walking to his den, and he does a show on that. So he just started it this week, and he's talking to one of the guys from back in the 90s when his name was Michael, when Michael and Mark worked together to create the first magic story, the Weatherlight Saga story. And they both reminisce about the old days of magic. And they talk about Squee, how they invented Squee. So much rage and anger for simply a 1/1. Why do you want to wreck my 1/1? So he talked about the name of Squee is that when they were designing cards, there was a little bit of flavor text. There was a little bit of flavor text on a card that was like a goblin nursery rhyme, and it was something like "See Flog and Squee, see them run up a tree," something like that. And so that was flavor text that they had thought of, and then later they made the the character. You remember the Weatherlight Saga, or at least reading about it? Yeah, that was like their first big story. It was. I actually, when I was in the draft right here, I opened the Weatherlight ship artifact. Maybe I should put it in the deck because I seem to be missing flyers. And so the podcast was about that, about reminiscing about the old days of magic. Ooh, Embercleave. Okay, I need that. Perfect. All right, let's. I got the city's blessing. So okay, let's take out this freaking Planeswalker number 1 with a good old Embercleave. Do you all believe in the cleave? Because that's what we need to do. Okay. Embercleave is awesome. Definitely, it wins Mythic Championships. Okay, so first strike on that, plus damage on that, plus another damage. What did she say? She just said, "I hope you washed your hands"? Was that always in the game, or did they program that in now after the pandemic? Yeah, this is Magic the Gathering Arena Pandemic Edition. All of the Planeswalkers now remind you to stay at home, wash your hands, wear a mask, and social distancing for at least 6 feet. Alright, so we got a 6/6 first strike, double strike, actually. My opponent has 21 life. Plus a Castle Lothlwain for some card to draw. Tricolor. Bringing Ski. It looks like they only have Squee anymore, so fine. It's going to be a thunderous hit. That's going to be 10. That's going to be 16 damage, no matter the blocks, I guess. And although they do have enough for a merger right here. Okay, they're going to take 12 with Embercleave, but they can afford it. Next, bring in a Druid. Equip for 3 on that. Okay, so I just noticed my opponent is Schmendrick. Do they have a board wipe? Are there any good board wipes at the moment? There's no Bontu's Reckoning, Shatter the Sky in white, but they're not white. Are there any board wipes in black? On Arena. There's no Damnation here. what's that one? Ritual of Soot, but that Ritual of Soot would actually be a great board wipe in my case, because all my creatures are CMC 3 or less, so Ritual of Soot would totally wreck me, actually. I shouldn't give them any ideas then. They're probably stream sniping me. Ooh, Drakuseth, who cares? Normally Drakuseth's amazing, but let's draw a card. Do not need Black Sun's Zenith, which is not available on Arena at the moment, but good point. And I guess a Visionary. I'm just stalling here. Draw a few things. Another land. Okay, well, whatever. So, for fun, I'm going to attack with my 0-2. It's funny when a 0 power creature attacks and it makes a different sound than normal. Believe in the cleave. So normally Drakuseth would be quite the problem. Normally a Drakuseth would be quite the problem, but when I've got a dinosaur holding an Ember Cleave by its jaws, I'm a problem as well. So the oh yeah, we were going to do this over here to kind of show this off over here. This is the toy that we were talking about. Gonna get a zoom in on that. What year is this from? Do you remember? So all of the marbles. Hey, is that your Atali deck that I see behind it? Red on red on red. And the other photo right here to get a sense of scale. You said you also lost the marbles from it, so it's not quite complete. Can any kind of marbles go into it, or does it have to be special proprietary marbles? You know, what's that Optimus Prime thing over there? I love looking at the background of people's photos. What's that over there? What's that? Anyway, yeah, so cool. Thanks for sharing that. And let's look at a few more of the new Ikoria cards. Actually, the way I want to look at it is, let's do this. The Ikoria release notes. Let's see if there's anything meaningful that comes up on this article here. Okay, this is the one about. So the new cards. This is the huge document that explains everything about the new specific set. So this is going to be a huge document, but I'll just skim it a little bit. You still have the marbles with the arenas. Okay, those are the ones. Yeah. So what's some basic info here? Is this set becomes legal and constructed on April 24th. The cards in current standard are Guilds of Ravnica, Ravnica Allegiance, War of the Spark, Corsa 2020, Dawn of Eldraine, Theros, Beyond Death, and Ikoria. So there's 6 cards, 6 sets in standard at the moment. Cards printed in Ikoria, boosters, as well as the Buy a Box are standard. Godzilla is the Buy a Box. There are 71 new cards with printed code C20 in the Commander deck. Okay, that reminds me of something here. That's when I said earlier, it's 10 o'clock already. Okay, I need to BRB really fast, and then we'll get back to the things in a moment. So I will BRB right back. One moment. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, and we're back. So, I have taken back control of the chat. So, let's see, what else do we have here? So there's 71 new cards for Commander being printed in the various Commander decks for this year. These cards are legal to play in Commander, Vintage, and Legacy. They aren't legal to play in Standard, Pioneer, or Modern. That's interesting. So 71 new cards that are getting printed directly to Commander, which not legal in Standard, Pioneer, or Modern. Yeah, but what about Pauper? Can I play them in Pauper? Yeah, and Brawl. The other cards in these decks are numbered whatever, are legal to play in any format that already allows them. That is, appearing in these decks doesn't change the card's legality. Yeah, so there's 71 cards that are brand new for Commander only. They didn't mention Brawl, but probably... No, not Brawl, because Brawl is Standard. And then after that, there's several in many formats. So Mutate. Mutate is the brand new ability here. Hey, look at that, we have a Vulpix in the set. Mutate. So this lets you merge permanents. As evolution runs wild on Ikoria, some creatures are finding themselves not simply adapting to the new dangers, but merging to become bigger, better, and more dangerous than ever. This is expressed in the game with the new keyword Mutate. So, when we had the unstable cards that would augment, this is the non-unstable version of that. And basically, you either pay the regular cost, let's zoom in a little bit, either you pay the original cost and you get the creature, 2/3, with flying, or you pay the mutate cost and then you combine this creature with another creature and they gain all of the abilities together, basically. So if I combine this with a Llanowar Elf, I will have a Vulpikeet Elf that is 2/3 that can also tap for mana. Whenever this creature mutates, put a 1/1 on it. So, and then you can keep stacking more mutations onto it. So I can stack another Vulpikeet onto it, and it'll get a +1 and the flying and all that stuff. So it can get pretty out of control. Casting and resolving creature spells with Mutate. Kind of like banding. It's a little bit like banding, but also like an enchantment aura. And so when you mutate these together and you kill, and then the thing becomes one thing. So banding, they're still independent things. You kill one thing in the band and you kill the one thing. But here, when these mutate, if I mutated this into a Llanowar Elf and I kill the Vulpikeet, it also kills the elf. It's one thing now. So be careful about that. Mutate represents an alternative cost. A spell with mutate becomes a mutating creature spell. It requires a target. A mutating creature is a creature spell, even if it won't enter as a creature. As a mutating creature spell begins to resolve, check whether its target is still legal. If not, it's no longer a mutating spell and it goes back to a normal creature spell. A mutating creature spell that resolves doesn't enter the battlefield, it simply merges. Okay, so there's a lot of detail with this brand new mechanic as we're seeing here. It won't trigger a brand new enters the battlefield if you mutated it onto something, unless it explicitly says it. If the target creature is already a merged creature, the mutating creature spell can be put only on top or bottom. It can't be put in the middle. Yeah, so you can choose top or bottom. Banding making a comeback? Not really. This is more like the unstable augment. Merged permanent. Yeah, so it's going to be, this is a really like wordy document. I'm not going to really go too far into it. I'll put it there in the chat if people want to check it themselves. It's like a very nerdy document. It goes into a lot of detail. It even goes into every card, I think. So if you want like the hardcore judge level of knowledge, this is what that article is about. For the moment, let's instead look at a few more cards. Gloom Pangolin, 3 mana for a 1/5. Okay, that's it. And then the flavor text. They say it survives on a purely bioluminescent diet. It's only active during the darkest of Indatha nights, making Verification highly challenging. This is Gannett Skysail Zoologist. Mutual Destruction. What is this? 1 black mana for a sorcery. This spell has flash, as long as you control a permanent with flash. That's interesting. It's normally a sorcery, but if you have something else with flash, this also has flash. As an additional cost, sacrifice a creature, and then destroy another creature. There's a whole cycle of these Mythos cards in every color, with art by Seb McKinnon, one of the coolest artists at the moment. It sort of looks like a cave painting sort of art style. 3 mana, instant. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if these colors were spent to cast this. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature. This is one of these with an alternate casting cost, but what is it saying? Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if 3 was spent to cast this. This one, I don't really see it as different as the other Mythoses. Let's look at the other Mythoses, because those made more sense to me. I don't get that one too much. So, for example, what was the other one that I saw here? Mythos of Snapdax. Okay, this is 2 generic white. Each player chooses an artifact, creature, enchantment, and planeswalker, and sacrifices the rest. If black, red was spent to cast the spell, you choose the permanents. So if you pay it with only mono white, everyone sacrifices everything except 1 of each. If, however, you pay white and then red black, then you get to pick all of the things that get kept. So that's an example there of this like alternate cost that I understand. The one that I just looked at, I don't really understand it. Mythos of Nethroi. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature. Okay, so I pay the 3, let's say I pay 3 mono black, destroy it if it's a creature. Great. Or, if you paid those 2 extra, I think this is an example that it doesn't matter how you cast it, but you can put it in your red, white, green deck, maybe? You get it? Like what am I missing here? Because the or doesn't seem better. The or of Mythos of Snapdax makes sense. Or, if you paid Rakdos, you get to choose. But I don't get what the benefit of also paying extra Selesnya. Fallen Empires art, yeah, classic. It reminded me a lot of the Caves of Lascaux style. So what else do we have? Mythos of Brokos. So if you pay the 2 other, means you destroy target non-land permanent if it was spent to cast this. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature or was spent. If you pay the 2 other, it means you pop any non-land. It doesn't say that. Destroy target non-land permanent if it's a creature, or if Selesnya was spent to cast this. I don't think it does the extra, like if you paid extra Selesnya, now it's anything besides a non-land, because it's already non-land creature. I don't think it's saying if you paid Selesnya plus black, you get to destroy just any non-land permanent. Now, does Scryfall say anything yet? Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't give specification. Okay, let's do this. We were looking at the huge article right here. Where did it go? Let's look at the official article right here. Well, here's how we can decide. If we go to the official article, the one I put in the chat, where did it go? Right here. If we go to the official article, let's look up So that's what this is for. Card cycle, Mythos. Okay, here we go. Among the strange and unusual, whatever, each card can be cast with a single color, but the tail is much more epic if you also spend certain two. Okay, Vadrok. It only explains one. The abilities of the Mythos check what colors the mana. If an effect copies Mythos, no mana was spent, so the copy won't receive the bonus. The ability checks that a mana was actually spent if an effect allows you to spend mana as though. If an effect allows you... Can we see the exact ruling? Here we go. Mythos of Nethroi can target any non-land permanent. Determine as the spell resolves whether the permanent is destroyed, either because it's a creature or because Selesnya was spent to cast it. Okay, I guess you were right. It is exactly that, Daybreak. That's what this says. It normally is going to destroy any non-land permanent, which happens either it being a creature or anything besides the land, is if you put the extra mana. Okay, yeah, you got it. That's exactly what that says. So I was just not comprehending it, but if you didn't pay the extra Selesnya, then it only targets a creature. If you then paid the 3 different colors, then it's any non-land permanent. Okay, so destroy anything for 3 mana in total. Any non-land permanent for 3, although you've got to be in 3 colors. Okay, we figured it out, team. We got it. Let's, if you all don't know, I'm going to be, let me show it this way. If you didn't know, I am actually going to be sponsored by Wizards of the Coast on April 15th. I'm going to be playing Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. Thank you, Wizards of the Coast, for giving me a fully stocked account for 24 hours. For me and 1,000 other streamers to stream the first cards. I'm planning on starting my stream at 3:33 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, the 15th, and go until, I don't know, midnight or 1 in the morning or something. Taking breaks, I guess, as well. But yeah, I'm going to be part of the early access streamer event. I also have a cool banner right here to show off like that. That's the day after your birthday, so yeah, it'll be my late birthday present for you to come to my stream. Yeah, that makes sense. So, early access streamer event, April 15th. Now, a lot of people are going to be streaming it, so if you wake up at 8 in the morning, you can watch people stream it, and it's going to stream all the way until the next day, 6 in the morning. But mine is going to be planned from 3:33 p.m. to midnight or something. Give a heads up, there's a YouTube bot here going around spamming YouTube known as Tim. Oh, that's not cool. Hopefully that doesn't come into our channel here and I have to kick it out or whatever. So thanks for the heads up on that. People make technology and then they break technology and then it hurts us all. But yeah, I'll keep an eye out on that. So let's get back to the regular. I can't really use that other overlay until the day. So let's get back to the stream. Also, if anyone would like to 1v1, let me know. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours. So I think I'm going to go for 3 hours, which is going to be in half an hour. And right now it is currently 10:30. I'm going to go until 11. That's my plan there. And if anyone would like to 1v1 in that time, that would be fun. I think 3 hours is a pretty good stream. I forgot to mention I submitted the challenges. Remember the other time I submitted 2 challenges when we won 5 in a row, and then also a mono black devotion. I haven't gotten the word back if they got approved yet, but we'll check that in a moment. So turn 1 Dragon Master, turn 2 Helix, and then eventually an Ilia? Sure. Uh-oh. Ha, the complete mirror match. It's like looking in an evil mirror. Okay, well, let me fake them out for a moment that it is the mirror match by toasting their dragon outcast. An eye for an eye. Mine gets exiled, however. Okay, so we can do some fun stuff here. So they're going to go with mono red. Boo, those mono red players. I can't stand them. Just kidding. So let's go on here. Next turn, oops, they don't seem to have any play. That's good, because next turn for me, I've got my beast. And I guess I do need my mana, so I won't cycle it. They're probably not playing mono red. They're probably just missing their other color. Yeah, there it is. See, they're doing Izzet. Captivating Crew. Ooh, everyone loves that one. Well, the way I will deal with this is I will attack with my 5/5. They will not block it, and then I'll Storm's Wrath to wipe the board except mine. Next turn, let's draw a card. That also gives me the ability to attack now, and there's an Ilharg. And then they opt. Just research Tim Tom Tam appears as a medium-sized YouTuber with 300 subscribers. Its logo is a yellow T. Okay, I'll be on the lookout for that, so that's annoying. Oh man, Ugin is very good. If I get my 5th mana, I will be able to Ilharg them. That is not a mana. Okay, well, I guess this will be a mana eventually. And this Firebrand will serve its purpose. Truly, he was fanatical. Might as well attack with that. They won't block with it because they want to upgrade it or adapt it. What was it called? Me and my podcast guest the other day were forgetting what was the name of the mechanic here about making it grow. It was adapt. I totally forgot it. That's a pretty cool animation for that big critter. No attacks. Okay. Field. Here we go. I'm going to be able to attack with Ilharg and then also attack with my 5/5. So, yep. Oh, it doesn't have haste. Never mind. That would have been OP. I thought for some reason that Ilharg had haste. Why did I think Ilharg had haste? Oh, it's the creature that gets sneak attacked in has haste. Alright, they're thinking and they're looking at it and they're reading it over and over and they're going to steal it. Oh, they're going to bounce it back. Okay, well, that's not so bad. Well, they have a bunch of flyers now. Fine. Their graveyard is going to be able to bring back that goat, so I guess to do it again. I guess they might be... If they lose one, yeah, that's good, because then less for me. Started to notice that the bot back in November, but it was before it became spammy. Okay, this is game over. They're gonna be able to escape it right away too. So this is hardly see this one anymore. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent puts the top 3 cards of the library into their graveyard. Okay, so then they're going to. Then my Ilharg goes away. So yep. And anyway, they have flyers, so what am I even waiting for here? Whatever, they got me. So, okay. I guess the luck of the draw didn't be good stuff. But we're doing pretty well so far, 3 out of 5, and we'll see how well we keep going here. Let's switch over here to... So these were the challenges that I have. I submitted the devotee challenge. It's being reviewed still. Okay, so they haven't approved that one. I did do a mono black. They wanted you to do a deck or they wanted you to play a game where you had 10 devotion to a color. And I did manage to do it with mono black. Submitted that one. And then the other one was the Pentawin. Is the one about winning 5 in a draft, which I did last week. So I submitted that. This is one that I don't know how many people can actually do it. Stream or create a video of you playing countertop paper Commander with others for at least 4 hours. So that's kind of a lot of hoops to jump through, isn't it? So obviously paper Commander, you can't really go out, so you can't see each other that way. So you've got to set up webcams and stuff, and not everyone has that to set themselves up very well. And then like 4 hours, I guess they don't mean one game of 4 hours, but it's 4 hours in total. So I think that's way too of a high bar. And it only results in one code, so I think that's way too much effort on that. I'd love to know how many people did it, but the system doesn't say. Besides that, I am auto-enrolled into the stream for X number of hours, so I have 74% there so far for 3 hours. And then there's the one of There's the one of 5 hours. I'm at 44% on that. And the other ones that are coming up, what's coming up? Oh, this is the one that you play on Wednesday Brawl for X number of hours. Yep. So those are the challenges right there. And I'm waiting on those approvals. So once again, those if people could try this out, actually, I think the points system, if you could all do the check your points, because I think it's not actually showing in the stream, but let me see if I see them in my system. So exclamation point points will check your points. And I can check over here as well. Yeah, it is points with plural, but why is it not? My system here says you have 450 points, Stevie, but I don't know why it doesn't. Yeah, my system shows you have 450 points, but I'm not sure why it's not showing up on screen. And I don't recall changing any settings. Yeah, I wonder what else that comment bot scam does. You know, does it send links for people to like click on something and get hacked? Okay, well, this might be game over. They're very aggro. I'm already at 11, and I don't really see anything meaningful here. Barely have 5, and having this god isn't going to be helpful, so I'm going to take another 5, 6, I'm going to take another 7. I'm on a 2-turn clock, so I think this one out-aggroed me. All you were able to gather is that you don't want to subscribe to the bot. Yeah. Clicked on it, all it does is have Spanish. Yeah, don't click on it. Those whenever it's some sort of weird spam thing, don't click on it to be safe. Okay, so I think it's gonna buy me 1 turn. So I'm not gonna be able. I don't have any life gain to gain, and guess I'll have 2 blockers here, but that's not enough for anything, and it's tapped anyway. So yeah, that's never mind. That's game over. Okay, cool. So they totally hit me with the tap dino that I forgot all about, and then they were very aggro. So okay, I guess that's the end of the line. But 3 wins. Let's see what those prizes are. It says 1,500 gold plus 3 cards. That's cool. Let's see how much that was. I mean, what cards those were. So 1,500 gold, and then we get an Icy Manipulator. Classic. Back in the day, I only had the Ice Age Icy Manipulator, the one with that terrible art. But the original one holding the sphere, that one was the cooler one. Then the rare Sun Cleanser. So this is the one that deals with counters. This is from Core Set 2019. And I guess this will be more important with counters. Remove all counters from target creature, and it can no longer gain any counters. So this is a card that they made last year. This is a card that they published last year. And now in Ikoria, with so many new counters, this is a card that will be coming back to life. And then the mythic Liliana, Untouched by Death. So the 4 mana, 4 loyalty from M19. Put the top 3 cards of your library into the graveyard. If at least one of them is a zombie, each opponent loses 2 and you gain 2. So you definitely have to do a zombie tribal. -2. Target creature gets -X, where X is the number of zombies you control. -3. You may cast zombie cards from your graveyard this turn. So once you've built Once you build a lot of mana, you can bring back a lot of zombies. So you're milling yourself with zombies, you're gaining life to prolong the game, and then eventually you do more zombie stuff. Okay. Got that. So, got about 15 minutes, so let me ask the chat. Should I do a game of Brawl? And Brawl would be my fun, janky Etrata deck, or maybe one of these other Brawl decks. Or should I do a little bit of the historic ladder with mono black? So in Brawl, I've got this Etrata deck that's kind of fun, this Ajani fun life gain deck. This is for Brawl. Oketra's a cool, fun deck as well. So we can do Brawl, or we can do the ladder. I don't care about winning on the ladder. I got up to gold, which I'm fine with that. But I was kind of having fun with the mono black devotion in historic. So what does everyone think? Ladder or Brawl? We have one vote for Brawl. James is talking about the precon decks in the chat. Okay, let's play some Brawl. So then now the question of which is Mark still here? Sometimes he pops in and out just because he has to also it doesn't look like he's here, but that's fine. His family sometimes needs him for stuff. So I'm gonna go to Brawl, and here's the decks. So this Etrata deck is got a lot of hexproof and death touch creatures. That's fun. The Brawl deck is there you are actually. Yes. The Ajani deck is life gain shenanigans. The Oketra deck is just basically get Oketra out and make a bunch of zombies. And then the Alayla deck is close to the one that was in the original Brawl precon. So what do people want? Etrata, Ajani, Oketra, or Alayla? I like them all, and I've been playing Etrata recently. It's not fully tuned yet. There's a few things in there that I need to remove, like Mnemonic Betrayal. I kind of like Ajani as well. That one was kind of working well. It's a little bit more tuned. That's pretty fun. What does everyone think? Should we go with? We got one vote for Ajani. We've got Etrata, Ajani, Oketra, and Alayla. What should we... I just noticed that Ajani is holding in his left paw, he's holding a totally broken Eternal. Snapped the neck right off of it. Right there. Let's go with Ajani. So Wizards of the Coast has active the Brawl event. That's very cool. I wish it was also Historic Brawl. I was playing... What was I playing with Historic Brawl? I was playing Elenda. That's my vampire deck. And they have the Gitrog monster. Now this cracks me up. How is the Gitrog monster Brawl illegal? Why is that Brawl illegal? Okay, nothing synergistic here, really, but a Pride Mate. Okay, so Gitrog monster's pretty amazing. A lot of card draw and such. I don't know what format they're using because this creature is from Shadows over Innistrad, which isn't even in the current standard. So why is that valid to use if I can't use my Elenda deck? Elenda is from Ixalan, and this is from Shadows over Innistrad. So how is this even legal in this format? Yeah, got a murder on that. Okay. I guess. Let's see if we can get away with this. Guess we're at 5 to get Oketra. Oketra's in this deck as well. So they had a lot of removal so far, and to be honest, I don't like to play an opponent that's just constant removal. You know, there's a big stalling tactic to then get off their big event, so hopefully they don't have a lot of removal, constant removal. Okay, so, I doubt they will block with my... Yeah, so they take 8 on that. And Vigilance. Now they have all of the mana necessary. There we go, enough for the Gitrog monster, but then my Trapped in the Tower will block it for Death Touch. So now that's a 5/5. The ability still does its thing. So much value here. You have to sacrifice your lands, but then they give you a card draw. So this could probably usually be done as a perfect... Yeah, Loaming Shaman. Oh, that is a proper thing. Gonna shuffle back stuff. I was gonna say that Loaming Shaman is like from some other set, but no, it was here from M20. Clay Crafter, fine. Well, there's Ugin. Gain me a little life. Next turn I can do Enajani, Strength of the Pride, to make a Pride Mate, then gain life. Bond of Flourishing. Yes, I have plenty of lands to go through with that Gitrog monster. Zero casting cost Arcane Signet. Got a big ol' Planeswalker party. So this is a new one. Binding of the Titans, exile stuff, etc. They exiled my Oketra. So the Gitrog monster is a very powerful deck, and it looks like they have tuned it to be very powerful, so this is going to be a challenge. Yeah, I have 34 life, but with that Gitrog monster constantly drawing them cards. Now, of course, I've got Ugin to destroy it, but then it'll just be recast, so... Alright, so then I can't make any more. I can't make any more Pridemates. Let's see here. If they block with that Death Touch creature, that gets me a card draw. So they're going to draw a bunch of cards and I'm going to get a bunch of land from the Smothering Tithe. Okay, so that'll be fun. Return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. I'm sure they're going to get something amazing. They got the Plague Crafter. Okay, I guess that doesn't even matter. I can just sacrifice my spirit. Okay, and so they're going to make a huge Hydra that's going to hit something, which is going to be my Pridemate. That's a lot of land. What can I do with all of that land? So they still have the Plague Crafter, but I have a Spirit, Crinarium. I want to keep my Ugin, thank you very much. Evolving Wilds. I guess I'll crack this Evolving Wild at the moment, just to make sure that I get it done. 5, 6, 7, 8. They have 8 mana. That's enough for their Gitrog monster. You have 1 card left in hand. Uh-oh, they're going to get something. Put any number of cards on top of your library. Okay, well, that's not that much great. Oh yeah, the Hydra is a good one. So they're about to draw the Hydra right away. So much mana. If only I had some sort of X spell to win the game. Okay, well, fine. I'll take that. I really thought that they would have, you know, that Gitrog Monsters is a great engine. It looked like they knew how to manage it because they were doing constant card draw. Even with their constant card draw, they still weren't able to pull it off. Well, okay. And that just about gets me to the, yeah, that's 3 hours and 1 minute. So thanks for that. I think, yeah, 3 hour stream is pretty good. So I'm going to wrap it up at this point. Reminder that Wednesday, April 15th, so that's next Wednesday, is the Ikoria Layer Behemoths early access streamer event. Me and like 900 other streamers are going to play the cards for the first time. Thanks to Wizards of the Coast for giving me a fully loaded account. I'm planning at 3:33 p.m. until question mark. Playing Ikoria, so come and hang out on my YouTube or Twitch, and we'll look at the brand new cards, make some cool decks together, and so forth. And yeah, that's coming up. So you'll be there on Wednesday. Thank you so much. I'll be there as well. We'll make some cool decks. We'll play against the other streamers. I'm putting together a cadre of other streamers that we're going to play like Ikoria only decks. I know a lot of the other people there, or some of the others are going to play like complete standard, and okay, yeah, that's fun, but let's see how we can challenge ourselves to only make decks of the latest cards. That'll be April 15th. April 15th is when you can start to pre-order. I think you already can, actually. If anyone wants to pre-order from their local shop the cards, the physical cards, that's available. And so, yeah, that's what's going to happen there. Thanks, everyone, for visiting. Hope you had some fun here. You're all welcome so much. Thank you also for coming and visiting and hanging out and chatting Magic and so forth. And then we have right here new subscriber. Shout out to Hamhawks42. Thanks for following. We also had Brew Tap Cast. That one was supposed to appear nice and cool, but I guess it didn't. Brew Tap Cast also followed. Thank you so much for also subscribe. Oh, there it is. For subscribing. Brew Tap Cast, you rock. And we also had these are some recent subscribers. MTGASMR, thank you as well for subscribing to the stream. It means a lot. We're growing now. What are my latest numbers? On Twitch, I've got 63 followers with 2,762 views. And on YouTube, kind of stalled a little bit after I got to 900, but what is it now at the moment? On YouTube, my subscribers are kind of slow. 923 are the current subscribers that I have, so it's all that you know how the deck goes on tap. Yeah, I want to put that deck together and play some on tap. You could also put the deck together and on tap, and we can have a challenge once in a while, or anyone there in the chat. So, just out of curiosity here, also how many does this tell me here? 231,764 views on YouTube. So that's pretty amazing. I'm about to get to the 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 921. Once I get to 1,000, then I can finally make money on YouTube again. I used to make money on YouTube 2 years ago before they changed the system and you needed to have 1,000 subscribers. So I've been trying to climb back up to... Untap is actually... You just need a web browser. It's not resource heavy at all. Untap works on a plain old web browser, just Google Chrome, and that's it. It doesn't need anything extra special. As long as you're not running Windows Vista or something, you should be fine. But yep, onward and upward. Hope to see you all on Wednesday. As usual, thanks everyone for coming to hang out. You make it all worthwhile. See you on the next stream. This has been VM Campos.